Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, joined by JOLI Robinson and Julia DRAYER. Like prayer.
Like Jules. Jules works.
Jules prayer. Jules is praying for this to be over. This introduction's too long.
Yes.
KALKI KOECHLIN, the printing machine, Unblushed. This comes from Blush, the YouTube channel. This is something I've been keen to watch for a while, but I've been waiting to watch it with the right peoples. The right peoples are over there. And here we go.
Yeah. They're not interested.
Here we go. It's a poem, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
And it's gonna start. Okay.
Chur, dak, 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 tree goes the steady printing machine, churring bloody scenes into bold black ink, churring headlines that make you gluck your drink, churring crimes against women, steep rising ink, gang rape Japanese tourist, international stink, strip search from menstruating, blink, Iran force-fed from starving, think, child rape by politician, ka-ching, chur, dak, dak, tree. The machine hops happily and we drink to ink that makes our stomachs sink and teaches us to fear everything. Fear the beast riding the nights from Delhi to Pondicherry, cat calling, wowing, growling, gurring, beasts of poverty, beasts on a shopping spree. It's midnight, Cinderella. It's 10 o'clock, you dirty fellow. Oh hell, it really doesn't matter. It was afternoon in the warehouse and nobody heard her. It was just gurring, growing louder and louder, and the machine churring faster and faster. Churring a nation that prides itself in the hanging of 4 men. 5 if you count the suicide bastard. Churring a village dangling of 2 girls like pin-up dolls upon a tree. Chur, dak, tree goes the busy printing machine till heads pile up in our hands, printed crisp and clean on our newspaper stands, and blend smoothly into our morning routine. Heads for one side or another, like a black and white marketplace. 2 heads for 4, 4 heads more, 8 heads for a martyr, enough heads to start a war. I mean, how many heads are we after? Churring one after another. Dak, tree. And when you think it's over, when the machine stops with a sudden tree, wait a little. Wait patiently. It's just readying to chirp, at textbooks of rewritten histories, of dissected countries, of majorities and popular beliefs, and then the long, slow chur. In italics and Roman prints of sweeping statements made by official establishments to take safety precautions and make improvements based on political views and religious sentiments. Churring out the marks of sin, cut out of the clothes you're in, the men with whom you've been, the color of your skin. Speaking of which, churring horizontal lines vertically to paper print. In soft baby pink, the pleasant opening page revealing a fair and lovely face, which melts a few pages on with the rise of acid sales. Churring, tree. The machine sings obliviously, churring magazines with shiny sheens to accommodate setups socially serene. A world we can buy into, a dream we can hang on to, a love that divides 1 into 2, values that depend on what others think of you, and you know the tune. You are what you say and not what you do. So keep tapping on keyboards, computing, virtual drawing rooms of communicating. Tap, tweet, tap, sweet, tap, texting, tap, emoticoning, whilst our machine keeps chirp. Tree. The family you marry has nothing to do. Chur, true with the man you woo. Chur, trot to underwear and bra. Ladies can't fight seriously in lingerie, so hurrah, let's throw her a bikini every time she raises her head defiantly. You see, God forbids multiplicity for a woman in our society. Chur, tree goes our precious printing machine, churring you to mask your nakedness by wearing less and less, churring bitterness in mothers like slow venom seeping into future generations. Quiet revenge of the weaker sex from behind the guise of a tear-stained Kleenex. Tree, churring little brats that grow into men, churring little ladies that use hearts to pretend and manipulate and defend themselves from the grr beasts of Darwin's survival of the fittest theories until our whole existence becomes just a little series. Chirp, trees. Daka dailies, daka weeklies, daka stories that become our histories. Though in irony of all ironies, will one day reveal how our great Indian heritage fell to its knees at the mercy of innocent, little printing machine.
Whoa. That was intense. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You guys start. Well, Jolie, go ahead.
My brain there was so much information in that.
That's what she does.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what she does.
So
That's
it's
her
kind of
style.
like,
Yeah.
it's almost like I don't even have a response yet because it's kind of, my brain is just trying to like come up with everything
Yeah, that's a
and
lot.
review it, because the tricky part is that it sounded, you're not listening to the words in the meeting, it just sounded beautifully, right? So
Right.
part of your brain is just like trying to keep up with the beat, and she's beautiful and there's so much imagery. There's just a lot
I feel like it's something you have to watch like 6 or 7 times.
to really
or
digest.
even more,
Yeah.
probably.
This is my 8th time. I still don't get it. I'm just
He's
kidding.
like,
It's my first time.
Oh my gosh.
God.
I feel like we need to break for an hour and write a dissertation and then come back and like share our views on it.
Wow. No, but the quality is great. I mean, the audio's it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So the production's great.
The sound design is cool. Like
Yeah.
the way it captured her voice was really good. I mean, it's this really interesting kind of video slam poetry thing, and you don't see this a lot on YouTube. She's one of the only people I know who does it. I mean, I have seen poems read online, but this sort of visual presentation of the poem
Right.
is so cool. She's the only person I've seen actually, pursue this kind of video.
So she's actually the one who writes everything, correct?
Yeah, she wrote it.
Wow,
She wrote it.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
Which is very courageous because she's criticizing a lot of different things. And I think that's what my brain is still trying to understand, is trying to put it in categories of like, what are all the things that she's criticizing? Clearly, she's criticizing the misuse of media, right? Especially printed stuff. Clearly, she's saying that there's an abuse of this power. In my opinion, it could be used to actually put out information that can help people heal, get educated, all this other stuff, but instead it's this kind of like silly thing of like, the new dailies or the gossip, or let's turn females into objects and, kind of like minimize all this like death and trauma and all this other stuff.
Well, it's also all about what'll sell, ultimately. It's this tricky thing because if you are the newspaper, you're trying to figure out how to sustain your business model, how to make sure it perpetuates indefinitely. And in order to do that, you have to find the next dicey, spicy thing.
Yeah, it's not for the greater good.
Yeah.
At all.
That's true.
Yeah, and so it's
Yeah.
hard, but I get it. Like, I get both sides of the argument because when you're just the consumer, you see all this onslaught of negative. It's like being a cop, It's like you're
Yeah.
just dealing with negative stuff all
the
day long.
time.
It's weird. It's like you're just this kind of, this vacuum for negative energy, so to speak. And so the newspapers almost seem like they are the thing spitting it out all the time.
Well, it's like the human brain has like a negative bias, right? They always say that like you're going to pay
Yeah.
more attention to things that are wrong than right. But I think what she's really criticizing is that, yeah, okay, that's obvious, and that might be like the quick flash in the pan that gets a lot of people's attention, but it's still an abuse. You're taking advantage of that. Do you know what I'm saying?
you're
'Cause
working- you're
you
working
can
off of fear.
It's like the chicken or the egg. People they'll pay money to see this, but they pay money to see it because also the other side of it, it's like, the people printing this stuff aren't innocent. They know what they're doing. They're establishing a culture of that. They're making it even stronger, so they kind of get the hooks in you, and then it just goes on
I think it was
endlessly.
Bill Burr.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He was talking about how your morning news is
On
always
his podcast?
On his podcast, I think he was talking about how the morning news is always delightful, and you wake up. I just realized it wasn't his podcast. He was on the news program, and he was talking about how you guys are so cheery right now, but it's because it's not the nighttime news.
Give it like 12 hours.
Yeah. He's like, is at the nighttime it's all dark, murder, rape, all this bad stuff.
That's all
happening.
my aunt calls me every day from like the Midwest, and she's like, "You wouldn't believe what happened today," and it's always just so negative. I'm like, "Oh no."
Right.
It's just negativity.
Positive news. I wish it was more interesting to people, but the fact of the matter is, it's not.
No one's gonna tune in.
I mean, it depends.
I don't know if that's fair to say.
If it's a harrowing story, then yes. You're not going to read about the cop doing his job. You're going to read about the cop who didn't do his job and did it horribly and was like gaming the system and was stealing drugs from the, evidence department. Like, that's what you end up reading about. Every now and then you'll find something, but even that people will find a way to criticize. Like, there was this thing that came out many months ago where this cop was pulling over people and then giving them money. It was like, I forget what holiday it was, but he was just trying to like do something. It was probably Christmas or something. He was specifically pulling over black people and then giving them money because it was like this thing where they were scared that they were like getting a ticket or something like that. They was I take that back. It wasn't black people. It was just people in cars that weren't in the best of conditions.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
And so,
you're not gonna pull over a Lambo and be like, "Hey, here's $100 bucks."
exactly.
I know it's not gonna affect you at all.
Yeah.
Like,
the reason why I said black person was because I remember it was a black person who was arguing against it.
Yeah.
This guy was getting mad about it because he's like, "You're pulling over these people who think their lives are in danger, basically." And it's like, but he was trying to do something good. I'm sure those people were happy to get free money.
Right,
you know?
maybe a short-term trauma.
Pull me over, give me money, I don't mind.
Get the cash.
You know?
Please.
Yeah, so all I'm trying to say was that was a positive story that was being shared.
I feel like people would have an appetite for it if there was good quality, good news out there, and not just these little stories.
Think there
I
is,
think it's
too.
like one of those things, if you establish, like you actually put the spotlight on those things,
Right.
we're all kind of like adaptable and malleable, right? So
Right.
especially the younger generations, like you get them used to like getting excited about good things.
Mm-hmm.
It's a habit they're gonna form.
And
So it
that's
might
so
take
true.
a while, you know.
That's
it's
a
like
really good
kind of
point,
like the
actually.
nature of our whole culture right now is pretty crappy, but I think there's something to be said about really kind of taking responsibility if you're given the opportunity to put good content or share good news and work on being disciplined, because I think this is one thing she's criticizing. They're not getting forced to put out this bad stuff just to make money. That's still a choice. You know,
It's
they're,
just like
they're,
we choose
they're
to go to
making
yeah.
money or whatever else it is more important than putting different habits into a culture.
I'm just going to read the description real quick in case it gives us a different direction here. So probably one of the most
Hey,
stirring
please.
invective against a culture that may be going morally numb. One newspaper edition at a time, KALKI KOECHLIN performs a self-written poem titled The Printing Machine, a rhythmic and scathing satire against daily broadsheets, magazines, social media, and textbooks.
Have you guys ever seen the Black Mirror episode Nosedive?
I've seen all
What
the
is it
Black Mirror
about?
episodes.
Okay, Nosedive is the one where she's going to her best friend's quote unquote wedding. She's going to be a bridesmaid in her best friend's wedding. And it's talking about what social media is going to turn into in like 10 years. Meaning
China's doing that already.
like there's a rating system for you.
Oh, I
You know
have
what
seen
I'm
this one.
saying?
Yeah, like
That's what this
literally
kind of
every
reminds me
interaction,
of.
like people will rate you like
Oh,
if you're
yeah.
an Uber driver or something.
But that's kind of how it kind of already is.
China is doing
in a
that
way.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, China has
you
a
can't
rating
even
system.
get on the like.
Oh
you
yeah,
can't
they
even
have
get
like
on
your
a plane.
credit score and everything.
Oh,
Like
that's crazy. But
facial
that's what
recognition.
this reminds me of because it's only social media is only going to get more and more addicting. I think so.
Right.
Yeah, it's very interesting because it can mind control people. It really
Yeah,
can
no,
if
it
you
does, and it
allow
does,
it. If
yeah.
you allow it.
It definitely
Well,
does.
the thing I was most curious to hear about from both of you, because I can't obviously speak to this, is the last stuff she was mentioning, which is like the beauty advertisements and how it was looking at women and stuff like that. Because I feel like that's not limited to India. That's definitely like something we deal with over here,
Worldwide, yeah.
you know, massively. Did that resonate with you? Did that speak to you at all? Or
I'd have to watch it a few more times.
Okay.
I really would.
I feel like I was hit with so much
yeah.
information.
But I feel like in general, yeah, of course, women have always had a pressure on us to be something we're not. I mean, no matter what you look like, you could be perfect, and you're still like, but this, but that. They just feed off your insecurities once again.
Well,
They
and it's
they're
really
feeding
funny.
off of it.
Yeah.
if only you had a few less freckles.
I know, right?
You know?
Oh my god, I just won't go out in the sun.
Just
Forget
be a
it.
little
Like-
less beautiful.
I
I've actually
know.
gotten that at as a like I think it's like the weird. It's like a weird compliment, but also like the worst reason I can get for not getting a job. Like say if you're going on like a modeling
Oh.
thing, I've gotten literally feedback of. She's too perfect. We can't hire her.
What does
What
that
does that
even
even
mean?
mean?
What
like
does that even
now,
How about
yeah,
now?
like what the hell?
Cool,
It's like
I'll
you
just
can't
go and eat 1,000 Krispy Kremes.
you
Cool.
can't win either way. So it's like, oh, now I got to feel bad
Wow.
about like the times that I'm not.
That's
you
why-
know,
that's why women-
performing right, and then when I do get it right, I'm still not
Scared
good
to see
enough.
what you're gonna say.
That's why women always reject me.
Too perfect.
perfect.
Too perfect.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there. I'm human too. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us, and thank you, KALKI KOECHLIN, for making this video. Thank you, Blush, for allowing us to react to this. I thought this was really profound and really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I like-
watch this again.
A
I like
thousand
the
more
rhythm.
times.
Yeah, I just like the.
I'm gonna take notes next
To me,
time.
it's bold whenever you're peppering these sounds that aren't actually words in your poetry, and it's like I've experimented with that. It's hard because for me it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not sure if it's going to work out too well, but I've done things like that, and it's a fun experiment. I just thought this was really well put together, and I like the visual presentation as
Lots
well.
of layers.
Yeah.
Lots of layers.
So really appreciate it, and it invites a really interesting conversation, to say the least. So be sure to check out JOLI and Jules on the social media, and Jabs as well if you want. JJ and Jay. look at that.
Hey, what?
The two perfect jabs.
Yeah.
The two. Yeah.
Oh, I got that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now I got it.
Yeah,
Now I got it.
I read it. I heard
Not
it was
number
TWO.
two.
I was like,
Oh,
she's
boy.
not Jabs. So, subscribe.
Who am I? I don't even know.
Yeah, subscribe if
You're
you
the
haven't
perfect
already.
prayer.
Check out our other reactions, reviews, short films, and vlogs. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
Julie Robinson.
Jules.
Peace out.